Assalamualaikum and good evening to my honorable lecturer, Madam Shima Liza, and my fellow partner today, Mr. Wan Asmuni. Today, my friend Wan Asmuni and me will talk about video critics. We will talk about the big short movie that produced by the years of 2015. Okay, let's move to next slide. Synopsis of the episode. This film tells the stories of three different financial businesses, all of which are analog to the American financial position and condition in 2005. Prior to United States financial crisis, mortgage housing had setbacks. Coin Capital's Michael Burry, played by Christian Bale, it is a financial manager who discovers considerable volatility in American home loan industry. Over the objection of many in the business, he then elected to make significant investment. Bury proves that his estimate was true and profited handsomely from the move he made a few years later. Gervanek, a four-point associate bond salesperson. This is done by Ryan Gosling. He was the one who saw Michael Burry's point of view and made moves that benefited him when the economy crumbled. Two young brownfield capital investors, Charlie Geller and Jamie Shipley, came upon Vanet's presentation on a cafe table by coincidence. They both decided to put their money into low-cost insurance with the potential for big reward during the economic slump, even though no one believed them at first. The four of them took the risk, making important decisions based on dismal economic forecasts. Next slide. Synopsis of the video except the money smell and gain by the characters of the story about the real life 2008 global economic collapse is polluted by evil karma. The Big Short, based on Michael Lewis' book, tells the story of how some traders and hedge fund managers gain riches by projecting that the housing market fall will lead to the collapse of bonds derived from subprime mortgages. This vocabulary is both dry and puzzling, as the mechanism, the story major premise as adapted for the movie by director Adam McKay and co-screenwriter Charles Randolph. In then, when making banking became the top industry in the United States, bankers purposely devises Byzantine financial instrument whose sole purpose was to assist the wealthy become richer while messing over the common guy. Expect of a lot of where do these rich Hollywood types get from criticizing income get backlash to this film, but that doesn't mean it is incorrect.
Louis, can you come in early tomorrow, please? I need to unload AIG and Countrywide and Freddie Mac positions so that we can afford the premiums on the core mortgage shorts on the swaps.
No problem, Dr. Berry. Dr. Berry? If the investors withdraw, what's going to happen here? Are we done?
Honestly, I don't know.
Critical Incident 1 Small Talk. While in official dorm, Dr. Berry requested that Louis arrive early the next day. Louis stated that he needed to support AIG Ferdinand's position across the country so that the corporation could pay the premium on the bond shooter's special guarantee on the Allegra swap. Dr. Berry inquiries as to what would happen and happens in the firm is the investors withdrew. Small talk. Dr. Barry took a very wise step by starting small talk communication with Louis when Louis wanted to return home. Small talk communication is official, is very important for avoiding irregularities among coworkers. Dr. Barry also chose a topic related to official affairs to discuss. Effect. Dr. Barry acts of starting a small talk with Louis can dispel the awoken feeling between the two coworkers while waiting for the time to return to their respective home. It is also give the opportunities to recognize each other better and foster a more intimate work environment. For recommendation, coworkers might engage in small talk and official to strengthen the bonds between them and avoid a awoken situation.
And I got my house in Aspen.
Yeah, but do you have any concerns about the performance of the underlying securitizations? It's easy to see that delinquencies, default rates are on the rise right now.
Could you please stop being such a buzzkill, dude? We didn't bring you out here to talk about work, bro.
Why'd you bring us out here?
Because we need to be able to expense the ammo to a client. I'm gonna go shoot some.
Critical incident 2, aggressive communication. While at the shooting area, Louis stated that he is a wealthy individual who has returned home from the hospital. His colleague inquired whether Louis was concerned about the performance of the underlying securitization. According to Louis, it is simple to see that the delinquent and default rate are the rise right now. Louis told his colleague to quit being such a downer. He didn't bring them here to discuss about work. Aggressive communication it is a style of expressing oneself that disagrees the opinion of others. Louis' communication style with his coworkers is forceful. His de- demeanor was unmoving and he appeared to be more conscious of his surroundings. Louis is a boss and he expects a better answer if he is not satisfied with his compiled response. By the effect, Louis' strong communication made his coworker feel more inferior and respectful of him. When Louis emphasized that there was no need to discuss office problems outside the office hours, his colleague ceased debating the subject. For recommendation, Louis would not have acted in superior and rude manners toward others. As a leader, he can be strict while remaining nice to his employees. This will result in a better, happier lifestyle even outside of the workspace.
Struck yourself in.
So as some of you may know, Bear Stearns has just received a loan from J.P. Morgan. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see how the markets react, but that should lay to rest any concerns about the bank's health.
No, I take it you have no plans to sell your $200 million in Bear stock?
No, as a matter of fact, when we're done here, I'll probably go out and buy some more.
For the opposing view, Mr. Baum.
I gotta stand for this. Okay, hi. My firm's thesis is pretty simple. Wall Street took a good idea, Louis Ranieri's mortgage bond, and turned it into an atomic bomb of fraud and stupidity that's on its way to decimating the world economy.
How do you really feel?
I'm glad you still have a sense of humor. I wouldn't if I were you. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I have no problem telling someone they're wrong. It's my passion. But for the first time in my life, it's not so enjoyable. We live in an era of fraud in America, not just in banking, but in government, education, religion, food, even baseball. What bothers me isn't that fraud is not nice or that fraud is mean. It's that for 15,000 years, fraud and short-sighted thinking have never, ever worked. Not once.
Jesus, we're at
Eventually,
37. We're at 37.
people get caught. Things go
It's fucking
south.
plummeting, man. It's fucking plummeting.
When the hell did we forget all that? I thought we were better than this. I really did. And the fact that we're not doesn't make me feel all right and superior. It makes me feel sad.
Every time I fucking hit refresh, it's dropping, man. It always goes down.
And as fun as it is to watch pompous, dumb Wall Streeters be wildly wrong, and you are wrong, sir, I just know that at the end of the day, average people are going to be the ones that are going to have to pay for all of this. Because they always,
32?
always do.
It's 32. Yeah, it's fucking tank, man.
That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Critical Incident 3. What ethnic gossiping? Ali and his friend are gossiping in a hall by receiving information while on this phone starting that share on by Michael Burry. Its value has just dropped 38%. So in a total time has been sitting there, he lost about 76,000 in that situation. Michael Burry remained calm as if nothing had happened. What ethnic gossiping? Every actor in this film has portrayed real-life people with passion. They understand how important it is to tell the audience about the real life of this story. In this scene, Ali and his friend are gossiping in a hall because they are not satisfied with the information released by the general manager, Michael Burry, because the information released in his speech was not accurate about share he owns. In fact, this made it important to maintain a balance between fun discussion and conservation that damage reputation. This is because gossip often take a story or partial truth and create unrealistic and damaging speculation. Recommendation: employees should focus on doing their job during working hours. They should be more professional and more respectful of what the manager says when listening to speech, and be careful to formulate things that are not correct. They should be more professional and more respectful of workplace policy.
I want to buy swaps on mortgage bonds, credit default swap that will pay off if the underlying bond fails.
You want to bet against the housing market?
Why? Those bonds only fail if millions of Americans don't pay their mortgages. That's never happened in history. If you'll excuse me, Dr. Berry, it seems like a foolish investment.
Based on prevailing sentiment of the market, banks, and popular culture, yes, it's a foolish investment, but everyone's wrong.
That's a good one.
This is Wall Street, Dr. Berry. If you offer us free money, we are going to take it.
My one concern is that when the bonds fail, I want to be certain of payment in case of solvency issues with your bank.
I'm sorry, are you for real? You want to bet against the housing market, and you're worried we won't pay you.
Yes, that's correct.
Berry, we could work out a pay-as-we-go structure that would pay out if the bonds fail, but it would also apply to your payments if the value of the mortgage bond goes up. You'd have to pay us monthly premiums.
Is that acceptable, Dr. Berry?
Yes. I have prospectuses on 6 mortgage-backed securities all onshore.
Majority of the mortgages. Which lender?
Dr. Berry, these should be fine.
Yeah, we're prepared to sell you $5 million in credit default swaps on these mortgage bonds.
Can we make it 100 million?
Absolutely, we can make it 100 million.
We'll be in touch. Send some paperwork over.
Critical incident 4. What ethnic at a meeting? Dr. Berry taught big investment bank on Wall Street into creating and selling credit default swap on mortgage-backed bond to him in 2005. He was the first person to do so, and later other investor and investment bank would use his idea to structure various derivatives on American housing market. What ethnic at the meeting? Dr. Berry displayed an excellent and professional work ethic while attending a meeting with Goldman Sachs bank manager. In the meeting, Dr. Berry discussed the sale of his own share by loan method. The bank agreed to Michael Berry's proposal on the condition of repaying the share loan with a mortgage as well as making monthly payments. This is one way to rehabilitate his company that suffered significant losses. In fact, Dr. Berry was a serious and reliable manager in managing his company fortune. Thus, the Goldman Sachs bank confirmed the decision that his investment loan was approved. Recommendation: discussion or meeting should always reflect professionalism. One should be more serious when discussing work-related matters.
That?
What?
What's that smell?
A cologne?
No.
Opportunity.
No. Money.
Oh, okay.
I smell money.
Okay.
Chris. God damn it.
Sorry.
This is your basic mortgage bond. All right? The originals were simple. They were just thousands of AAA mortgages bundled together, guaranteed by the U.S. government. The modern ones are different. They're private, and they're made up of layers of tranches. The highest level AAAs getting paid first, the lowest rated Bs getting paid last, taking on defaults first. Now, obviously, if you're buying Bs, you can make more money, but they're a little risky. Sometimes they fail. Chris? Somewhere along the line, these Bs and double Bs went from a little risky to dog shit. Where's the trash?
Behind you.
I'm talking rock bottom FICO scores. No income verification. Adjustable rates, dog shit. The default rates are already up from 1% to 4%, fellas. And if they rise to 8%, and they will, a lot of these triple Bs are going to 0 too. And that, you're too close, is an opportunity.
Okay,
You're saying that at 8% the bonds fail, and we are already at 4%?
That's right.
If they go to 8, it's Armageddon.
Yeah, that's right.
How come nobody's talking about this?
You're completely sure of the math.
Critical incident 5. Good presentation skill. When it was presented about conceptualize the housing market analysis of Dr. Berry using the Jenga block method, where it is a method for eccentric hedge fund manager who first discovered many risk subprime mortgage that fill the mortgage block security market. By using this method, Wenet is confident can stabilize the home sale market in the United States. The presentation skill. Presentation technique are part of the scene of communication. Communication itself is a delivery of message from the sender to the receiver. J. Bennett used the easy-to-understand Jenga block method to demonstrate the method used for home buyer analysis. This method is a way to convince the manager to understand financial manager very easy. In fact, this is the best audio because when you present in front of them, they seriously observe, take note, and really interested in the material of topic being presented. Recommendation. In order for audience to easily remember and comprehend the content, it is crucial that the presenter present idea succinctly and effectively as possible.
His desk's profit to cover his triple B shorts. He sold a lot of A and double A swaps as protection, a lot. He believed that there was no way that they could be affected.
Tell me Morgan Stanley doesn't hold the contracts on these swaps. Holy shit. All this time I've been trying to figure out who I'm betting against, and it's Morgan Stanley, which is me. What's your exposure, 3 billion? Please don't tell me it's more than 4.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Yes, you can answer that because...
Critical incidences. Politeness, bad language. Michael Burry used the word holy bullshit on his employees.
Politeness, bad language. This scenario occurs as a result of Dr. Bury's suffering a 20 billion loss in house sale that did not meet the expectation despite having invested heavily. He believed he would never fail and it was a safe bet. Instead, he lost the wager and paid more than he would have won. In fact, Dr. Bury used foul language because he was dissatisfied with the market for the sale of his home. Because he was facing a significant loss, the predicted sales strategy changed from what was intended. Such statement should not be made to his staff. His conventional vocabulary demonstrates a lack of attention and respect. And for the recommendation, Dr. Bury should appreciate and evaluate the desired idea as well as be patient with what unfolds. Next, he cannot refer to his staff as dumb since this is impolite and offensive. This is an example of how a company sexually abused his staff. For the conclusion, this movie sample teaches us a lot about professional and immoral working behavior. In this movie also clip stresses the significance of small conversation, communication style, work ethic and manners. We make conclusion that all of these facets of communication not only impact our relationship with others, but also teach us how to communicate successfully. And the last one is to engage professionally, we must listen carefully, have solid presenting skill, be polite, and observe correct, ethical, or workplace behavior in all aspects of our conversation. That's all from our group, and thank you. Assalamualaikum.